Okay, so now we are only using one fan, but we're pouring water down the hole, and we've lost a degree, which is good. We've gone from 85 to 84. It's kind of at the cusp of it, but it's for the first time actually going down. Not sure how effective that will be, how much lower we can go, but I'll add the other fan after I add more water. Now it seems to have stabilized at 85 again. Well, it was dropping for a few seconds there. Let's go outside and see what we're doing here. Back out to there where we have the garden hose in, pouring the water. And this is the dry season. No, it's not. It's the rainy season, so it should be full of water anyway. But it's summer. Well, let's see. It's not actually gone up to 86. So it's kind of weird the way it's fluctuating. So let's go out and see what happens when we put on the other fan. Wait a minute, I'm live. He's trying to. Good for him. Good little boy. All right, so we've removed this fan and we're pouring water down here right now, filling the chamber. And then of course it's coming up here. We have the 12 volts that we're using, and that's going to the AC power, but we're using this right now, just this fan here, and then we'll put that fan back in a minute. But I wanted to show what fan we're actually using in case any of you want to try to replicate this experiment. So we're using the Atwood 4-inch turbo inline blower, and the specs say that at 12 volts DC it's drawing 2.5 amps, so I was wrong earlier. Well, I said 6 amps, but that was for both of them combined. It's actually 5 amps combined. And that really means that, yeah, we're only, with both of them running, we're only doing about 60 watts. So that's pretty decent. 200 cubic feet per minute at 12 volts. At 13.6 would be 230 cubic feet per minute with a 4-inch diameter pipe. Doesn't feel like that at all. But the fuse is 5 amp fuse, and it is small and lightweight, and so it's supposed to have some water resistance. And nickel plated motor can for corrosion resistance. So let's hope it all works out. But that's the fans that we're using. I have 2 of these Atwoods, and they cost about $25 maybe a little more in there. And so I'm just pouring water into the chamber. Remember that there is a chamber down here that is the size of half an IBC tank, actually. So it's 7 feet down. That's where we hit water. 7 foot for the water table. And so it goes about 3 feet this way and about 4 feet this way and then 3 feet this way. And see what's happening here. Oh, this thing got completely filled with water. Look at that. Okay, that's weird. So let me turn this off. Didn't think we could fill up that chamber, but maybe it does fill up the chamber. All right. And so then there, as I said, it's a chamber that is 2 cinder blocks tall, and it's 4 feet long by 3 feet wide, and then there is a 1/2-inch plywood board that is 3 by 4 feet that's on top of that, and then there's the bottom of an IBC cage, which is metal to give it more strength, and then it just has all the sand and dirt packed back in on it for about another 5 feet, and that's what we've got going here. Oh, what is all this for? Oh, so what this is this an experiment using only 60 watts to try to cool down the RV in the event that there is a power failure and we don't have air conditioning on a blistering summer, or that we don't have heating when it gets really cold. The ground temperature is about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 30 Celsius. So right now we're just blowing 30 Celsius or 85 degree air into the RV. And right now I'm only using this one. Oh, I just kicked that off. Sorry. What had happened here? There we go. So I'm just using this 12 volt Atwood. And as I was saying a little earlier, the Atwoods that I'm using are these Atwood 4-inch turbo blowers, inline blowers. I'm using 2 of them, and they put out 200 cubic feet per minute at 12 volts and 230 cubic feet per minute at 13.6 volts. I'm running at 12.3 volts, and they draw 2.5 amps, and I've got 2 of them. So 5 times 12 at 60 watts approximately when I'm using both of them. Right now I'm only using 30 watts to try to move that 85 Fahrenheit air. And last year I dug a hole down here that is 3 feet wide by 4 feet length and 7 feet down till we hit water table. And then I stacked 2 cinder blocks on top of each other all the way around the perimeter of that hole, so it was a couple of feet high, and then covered it with a plywood board that was 3 foot by 4 foot, actually a little bigger because it covered 3 foot by 4 foot. I put some cinder blocks in the center, covered them with burlap bags so they could wick up the water that's in there, and then put an IBC tank bottom, the metal cage bottom, for extra strength on top of the boards and the cinder blocks, and then just filled the whole thing, backfilled it in with the sand and the dirt. But these 4-inch pipes run down through a hole in one of the in one of the cinder blocks, and then it opens into that chamber, and then there's another hole in another cinder block, and then it comes up from an elbow and goes that way, and then up and into the 4-inch gulp hood dust, big gulp dust hood there, where I have another fan. So I got these 2 fans, and when I put this fan on, now that I've poured some water in here, I gotta put the phone down, I think, to do this. Let's see if I can get this back in the way it was. I'm going to put the phone down for a second. Hold on one moment. Let me see if I can do this successfully. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so that fan is back in place. And oh, how did that come out? Oh, that's not good. I guess when I pulled it, that came out. Okay, so I got to put that back in. In there means I need to go get the screwdriver. But let me go inside to get the screwdriver, and meanwhile see what that single fan is doing now that water has been poured down. Does it make any effect below the 85 that we've been constantly blowing into the RV? And 85, Fahrenheit, or 30 Celsius is, oh my gosh, it went up. It actually went up to 89. That's awful. Okay, that's not a good result. Maybe that's because I'm only using 1 fan and I hardly feel any air blowing. Or maybe the water blocked it. Maybe I created a big problem by filling it with water. So we'll have to see what I ended up doing. So let me go get these screwdrivers. Well, that's tragic. I may have just filled it up with water, and by filling it up with water, caused myself a bit of a headache till the water drains down. Probably what I did, but we will see. All right, so let me put the phone down again. Oops.